Hi everybody and welcome to the Mental Toughness and Body Show. My name is Rob Evans and I'm your weight loss coach, health strategist and internationally published author, helping take your life, your business, your health, fitness, mindset and body from where you are right now to where it is that you want to be. And today I want to talk to you about trying new things. And I think I mentioned it in a podcast over the last week about how I decided to try something a little bit radical and do something that I had never done before, and that was order some pre-made meals. And I did this on the back of a number of clients asking me about this new brand that's come out here in Australia. It's called My Muscle Chef, aimed at providing meals already done for you, fresh, not frozen, for those people that are seriously into their training. So they're higher protein, healthier meals, bigger portion size, etc., etc. So rather than just give people the standard of what I believe are the advantages and disadvantages of using meals like that, I thought, well, why don't I try for a period of 5 days, taste the meals, go through the whole process. What's the ordering process like? What's the taste of the meals like? What is the customer service like, etc., etc. So I finished my, so the minimum you could order was 5 days. So I finished my 5th day meal yesterday for dinner last night. And I thought I would just give you a bit of an update as to how I found the whole process. And overall, I would give it probably 4.5 stars out of 5. The ordering process, really simple, but I do think that they could improve on a number of aspects of how you how you order. And that is, for me personally, I don't have the high energy carbohydrates outside of my training time. So it would be better for me if I could order by protein quantity, if I could order by, high energy food in, high energy food out type of thing. So there I'm talking about rice, pastas, that kind of stuff. So pretty much all of their meals have those foods in there. Now for the way that I eat and train, I don't have those foods outside when I train. So I had to go through manually. So I've placed another order and it comes, I think, next week. I've placed another order that doesn't have those things. Now, they've got some meals that don't have those, but it's a limited range. I think there's only about 8 meals that do that. So that could be improved. And I think if you could order via protein, so I had to go through and do that manually, and some of their protein filled meals vary from, for a snack from 7 grams right up to 72 grams, I think, which is going to be too much protein for most people. Right now, I'm looking to get around 40 grams per meal, and I was able to do that because you can click on each meal and see how much protein is in each. So a little bit of work in doing it for the first time, but once you're set up, it's okay. The taste of the meal's really good. I'm not really a spicy or a curry person, and they have a lot of dishes that have those things in it, and they didn't really agree with me digestively, but on the whole, really good. Customer service side of things, I ended up sending in an inquiry, just questioning the protein in a certain meal that they provided. It seemed very light on, but they were stating that it was quite high. And they came back with a very, very comprehensive answer. And so I was really, really surprised by that. And I was really impressed. So that was good. And overall, I think really good. So one of the points in doing this was obviously to give people an insight. And now if there's people that I find that are really struggling with their meal preparation and everything, some meal plans that I give them, I'm directing them to this way because I found the food tasted good, it's easy, it's fresh, it's not frozen, the meals are vacuum sealed, they keep for up to 12 days I think, which is more than you're supposed to keep them for, because you'll eat them within a week. So I thought it was really good. And what it highlighted for me was the fact that, I've been eating pretty much the same way for 8 to 10 years now, and it was like a really nice holiday. away from what I'm normally eating. I'm getting all the nutrients in. I did the calories based on what I'm eating at the moment. If I ate those meals, what would it look like for me? And it comes out pretty much the same. So I thought about it like this. Well, do you know what? It feels really nice to have your own chef and to be able to have all this different variety that you can just pick from time to time. And I'm on a fortnightly cycle at the moment. So I can say, well, every fortnight I get to have a bit of a rest from cooking all my meals, which I do on a weekend for the week ahead. I could just have a little bit of a rest. I've got these meals, they're nice and tasty. I'm getting all the nutrients I need. They're portion controlled. I add extra vegetables to it because that's an area where they could improve. They're light on for me in veggies. And apart from that, like really, really good. So I only would have discovered this, and maybe this will be something that I continue in my cycle. So it works out to this next week, $124 for 5 days of meals. Now that's 3 meals a day. I put in my own snacks. So a really convenient, tastes great, and it gives me a break from doing, the cooking. Because, I do all my cooking, no one else does it for me. And I thought, well, this is just like having my own chef. And they add different meals from time to time, I imagine, so you can just, get a bit more variety in there. So I only would have discovered this, I only discovered this because I'm open. I'm open to trying new things, open to experimenting with ways that can make my life easier, make it more efficient, make me more productive. And I think we get caught up so often in many of the things that we do that we don't consider an alternative. And I use this as an example today for me because food is such a critical part of who I am, the way that I live, and for the results that I get for my body. And because I was open to experimenting, this might be something that I now just have as part of my lifestyle because it's so easy. And it means that, well, where else does it save me? Well, not only do I not have to worry about preparing some meals for a week, I also don't have to worry about doing the shopping. I was surprised at how little washing up I had to do because you just eat out of the containers and stuff. And so the dishwasher went on less on the week that I had them. And it just simplified things really, really well. I still had to get groceries for the kids and, for some of my snacks and vegetables and stuff, but it was so restricted. Now, is it more expensive? Yes. I mean, you're paying for the convenience of someone else prepare your food. So you're looking at about $9 to $10 per meal. But if you were going out to have an equivalent meal in a restaurant, then you'd be paying here, anywhere from probably $25 to $30+ for one of those meals. So yes, you're paying a little bit more than if you did it yourself, but I'm probably not going to go to the effort to make the types of dishes that they're presenting. And that to me is a big difference. I'm not going to get those flavors. I'm not going to be able to cook it the same way. Mine's going to be much more simplified. So I thought it was a really good opportunity for me to try something different. It has worked for me. I'm going to try it again with these different meals over this next week, and we'll see what the outcome is there and keep tweaking and modifying. So maybe there are some areas of your life where you think, gosh, maybe I should try something like that too. And so it's called My Muscle Chef. If you're based in Australia, I don't think it's an international thing. It's just in Australia. Give it a go. If you are really battling with your food and you think, man, I just really need something different, or you're not being consistent with eating your meals. Long term, I think it makes sense to get into the habit of preparing your own food so that it doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing, you are empowered to know what you need to be eating, what you need to be preparing, how you need to be preparing, etc. But I mean, this is just one example, being food. Maybe it's something else for you. Maybe it's garden care. Maybe you've got a big garden, or you don't like your garden. You don't like looking after your garden. getting someone in to do that. Maybe it's cleaning, getting a cleaner in once a week or twice a week or whatever to do those things that you just don't like doing. Maybe you hate making the bed and doing the vacuuming and dusting and cleaning your toilets and bathrooms and all that kind of stuff. Well, get someone in to come and do that. Free up your time, free up that space in your head so you can do whatever you want with that time. You may say, well, I'm going to be more productive at work by using that time. Fantastic. Do that. You might say, I'm going to use that time while the person's cleaning. I'm just going to go out and do something for me. I'm just going to relax. The point is that you've got time. You're giving or you're getting time back for you by having someone else do some of these things for you. I think there are so many opportunities out there in the way that we run our lives, and then we get caught up in the same old patterns of doing things that we don't think there's another way of doing it. And sometimes there's just another way of doing it. I'll tell you one of the things that I'm a real neat freak. Everything's got its place. I've got to have clean floors and a clean place around me. It's just important to me. It's just probably an OCD tendency that I have. One of the things that I hate is having to, the cord on the vacuum cleaner, for instance, if I do a bit of vacuuming, is not long enough, or you need the extension cord, or it gets caught up or whatever. Now, of course, what do? They have some really good cordless, bagless vacuum cleaners, like your Dyson and that kind of stuff, which I think are dramatically overpriced. But anyway, I don't have one of those, but I keep seeing those ads and I think, man, do you know what? That would make it so much quicker for me. So I don't have to go and get it out of the cupboard or wherever it is and pull out the cord and plug it in and then shift it from one power point to another and do that kind of stuff. Or I can just run around quickly with a cordless vacuum cleaner and go, bang, okay, done, put it away. So I keep looking at them and thinking, why don't you just buy one? I was like, I just think that they're overpriced. Is basically why I don't buy one. Another example of something, maybe that would save a bit of time in doing it, because you could just run around quickly and do these things and not have to worry about, transporting something big and clunky around the house with all the cords and everything. Again, just another example of something simple that you can do that may maybe save you some time. Maybe there are some things in your business where you're doing them and you don't need to. And maybe they are things that you could easily delegate to another part of your team, whether it be an international team or whether it be some one-off stuff. I mean, I outsource a whole bunch of one-off things to my international team. I've got a pretty solid team based in Kathmandu in India. And, you've got to try a few different people until you can get somebody that you like, know and trust. And that's taken me some time, but now I've got a pretty solid team where they're really good on doing certain things for me. And so I've tested them out over a long period of time now, and they're really good with certain things. They just get it done. They get it done quite efficiently, very, very cheap. And some things are one-off. I have them doing some things on an ongoing basis. And there are some things where it just doesn't work. And I'll say to them, look, give this a go. And, I've taken a couple of jobs off them where obviously they can't get it right for whatever reason. It's like, okay, well, that's obviously not their strength. They haven't added that right person to their team yet. So let's give that to someone else. So I use places like Fiverr. I use Upwork is my main one, upwork.com. And just looking for the right people to do those particular tasks for you. You just don't know. I mean, recently I'm actually meeting with this person this week. This is a new trainer for my business, and not to take on as an employee, but as a contractor for now, because she works for the different people are across a wider range of geographics. But she's open to travelling to do some work for me. Now that might be just somebody that I can have in for, a couple of chunks of time through a week, so that she can ease up my schedule so I can do some other things. Or if I need to take a break, go on holiday because I haven't had one for a while, then maybe she can come in and do a whole week with me, or big chunks of time, so that I can free up my time to do those other things. Something that I haven't tried before with a contractor, I've normally taken them on as an employee. There's advantages and disadvantages of both. And so that's something that I'm going to try and see whether that works for my business. So there are many different ways of doing things. And the other thing with that too is about Zooming classes and that kind of stuff. You don't have to have the person physically attend. They can just be wherever they are in the world, as I can, and run the class from there. So I think before COVID, I was closed to maybe certain ways of doing things. We do get caught up in that rut of we do things because that's the way we do them, without stopping to think and saying, why do I do it that way? Maybe I need to change and try something different. And I think when you come at it from that perspective, you just open your world up and your mind up to other possibilities. And that's what I've done with this food, and it's worked really well for me. It could have quite easily not worked, but I was open to trying it. So I think be open. Be open for new experiences, and you just don't know what can come from it. And I've done that in terms of networking. I thought, man, I really don't think I'm going to get anything out of this event. You go along, and before you know it, you are connecting with people that you never thought you would connect with. And a great example of that is I'm catching up with somebody who is based in New York, but she's living in LA at the moment. Now, I met her at a networking event in LA a couple of years ago, and we just started having a conversation, and now we're connecting again a couple of years later, just to see how each other is going, talking about business, and just sharing ideas. And you just never know where that next business opportunity, that next idea, or just that next person to bounce ideas off or connect with, or just vent, download with. You just don't know. So you've got to be open. Be open to these things. Now, if you want to connect with me, go to thementaltoughnessandbodyshow.com, opt in for your free consultation there, and let's make 2021 your best year yet, because if I can do it, you can do it too. Stay safe. See you tomorrow.